share. Imagine getting your hands on a book that turns the history of your own region and the world upside down. A book claiming you descend from an ancient and wise people, boasting a civilization that thrived thousands of years ago and profoundly influenced all other cultures. A book unveiling a hidden and forgotten narrative unattainable elsewhere. Would you believe it? Would you want to investigate? Would you desire to share it with the world? That's precisely what happened to me when I stumbled upon the Oera Linda book by chance, a mysterious and contentious manuscript in Dutch history. The Oera Linda book, penned in an ancient Frisian script in the 19th century, presents a chronicle of Frisian history from the time of the flood to the 13th century. It details the origins, religion, laws, wars, trade, art, and science of the Frisians, claiming they are the oldest and purest descendants of Freya, the Earth's mother goddess. The book also asserts that the Frisians were pioneers among European peoples, significantly influencing the development of Greek, Roman, Germanic, Celtic, and Jewish cultures. Within its pages lie numerous legends, prophecies, poems, sayings, and riddles, painting a rich and intricate image of the Frisian world. Since its discovery in 1867, the Oera Linda book has sparked intense debates and discussions. Some view it as an authentic and valuable historical document shedding unique light on Frisian and European history. Others consider it a forgery or hoax, possibly aimed at bolstering Frisian identity or pushing a specific political or religious agenda. Yet, some see it as a literary or artistic experiment playing with the boundaries between fact and fiction, history and mythology. It's a book that raises many questions but provides few definitive answers. I'm Chris Folgers, a resident of Purmerend, Noord-Holland. I'm not a historian, linguist, archaeologist, or writer. I'm simply a curious and adventurous reader who became captivated by the Oera Linda book. I delved into investigating clues and evidence to confirm or debunk my interpretation of the book. Surprisingly, I found references in the book that tied back to my own region and the wider world. Moreover, my family name, Folgers, appeared to have a direct link to the ancient Frisian families mentioned in the book. My hypothesis challenges the notion that the Oera Linda book is a forgery, hoax, or experiment. I believe it's a genuine and reliable source of Frisian history and culture, unveiling a forgotten narrative reaching back centuries before Christ, involving Noord-Holland and beyond. This book holds the key to unraveling a profound mystery that could reshape our understanding of history and ourselves. In this report, I aim to take you on my journey through the Oera Linda book, revealing my findings and insights. I'll show you how I interpreted the book, supported, and illustrated my hypothesis. I'll demonstrate how the book has the potential to rewrite the history of Noord-Holland and the world and its implications for us today. Additionally, I'll share how the book has personally affected my identity and worldview. However, to embark on this journey, you must approach the Oera Linda book with an open and critical mind. You'll need to set aside preconceptions and be ready to be surprised and challenged by its contents. Are you ready to seek and discover the truth, rewrite history, and appreciate the beauty and wisdom within the Oera Linda book? If so, let's begin. Following an intensive study of the Oera Linda book, it's evident that the mentioned place names are all centered around Amsterdam. This hasn't been highlighted in previous studies, making it a unique conclusion. The book contains various references and descriptions of distances, locations of fortresses, and waterways. It becomes apparent that the context describes a bustling IJsselmeer, the literal center of international seafaring. Additionally, the high-ranking mothers, essential castle maidens, and oracles are situated in prominent fortresses surrounding Stavanger, Purmerend, Aldurga, Amsterdam, and Medemblik, Medemblik. My interpretation of the Oera Linda book deviates significantly from the widely accepted narrative, presenting evidence against the common assumption of it being a forgery. In conventional interpretations, areas like Twiskland are dismissed as Germany, and the Marseton, for instance, placed in Switzerland. Another prevalent mistake involves the translation of Denmarken. It's often misinterpreted as Denmark, whereas the correct translation is Demarken Marken Ijaisalmere. When I also make a direct connection with Volkplanting Kadik by Cousin Tunis, which I can directly link to Kwadik next to Purmerend, and the phrase Engmond Eendezi translates accurately to Egmond Eendzi, it becomes clearer about the local context. The confusion arises from a specific perspective. Imagine standing in the middle of a large circle, representing the Amsterdam region, perceived by the Frisians as the center of their world. Everything to the east might be the Kadhimers, and to the west, the Saxmannen, forming a pie-like area expanding and covering more significant territory. Eventually, the Finns would become the Americans, and everything beyond Groningen, all Krekelanden. Hence, initially, all population groups that dispersed worldwide centered themselves around Amsterdam. The Oera Linda book describes the various population groups residing near the Ijaisalmi and distinguishes them by their lifestyle, occupation, and name. It also elucidates geographical relations, considering the Ijaisalmi the center of the Frisian world, while everything beyond is peripheral. The book introduces the term Krekeland for lands farther away from the Ijaisalmi, possessing different cultures and languages than the Frisians. Greeks, Romans, Celts, and Jews are among those referred to as Krekelanden. The book regards the Frisians as the oldest and purest descendants of Freya, the mother goddess of the earth, and pioneers of all other European peoples. It asserts that the Frisians played a significant role in shaping Krekelanden cultures through knowledge, laws, art, and trade. These passages are examples of how the Oera Linda book describes Frisian history and culture, offering a distinctive and complex portrayal of the Frisian world. It highlights how my interpretation differs from the general one, often incorrectly translating or placing names of places and people. I've discovered the book contains numerous references and descriptions that can be traced back to my own region, Nord-Holland, unveiling a hidden and forgotten narrative that unfolded in Nord-Holland and beyond. One of my most remarkable discoveries is the book's connection between the Frisians and Jesus, Christianity's founder. According to the book, Jesus was known as Jesus, born to a princess and high priest. He was taken outside the city to live with humble people to escape disgrace. He traveled the world, teaching about love, justice, and freedom. He met a Frisian seafarer serving as a slave, whom he freed. They became friends, and Jesus learned about Frisian customs from him. He accompanied him to the Twisklanden, an area where the Frisians resided. Near Purmerend, between Purmerland and Ilpendam, you had the village Galilea, where Jesus lived among the Frisians. This information is profoundly different from the conventional narrative surrounding Jesus. The Oera Linda book positions Jesus within the context of Frisian history and culture, depicting his life events and teachings intertwined with the lives of the Frisians. This finding challenges traditional beliefs and opens up new perspectives on Jesus' life, relationships, and teachings. It also suggests a deep historical connection between Jesus and the Frisians, impacting our understanding of Christianity's origins and the diffusion of its teachings. These revelations about Jesus and the Frisians within the Oera Linda book exemplify how my interpretation diverges from conventional views. The book provides a unique and unconventional perspective on Jesus' life, challenging traditional narratives and offering an alternative understanding of his connection with the Frisians. As I continued my investigation, I uncovered various references and connections within the Oera Linda book that tied back to my own family name, Folgers, and its link to ancient Frisian families mentioned in the book. Through meticulous analysis and cross-referencing of historical records, I discovered a trail leading from the Frisians mentioned in the Oera Linda book to my ancestors in Nord-Holland, particularly in Purmerend and the surrounding regions. The Oera Linda book makes several references to prominent Frisian families, including the Folgerd and Folkerde families. These families played crucial roles in ancient Frisian society, contributing to its governance, culture, and religious practices. Interestingly, I found records tracing the lineage of my family name, Folgers, back to the Folgerd and Folkerde families, indicating a possible ancestral connection. Furthermore, Historical documents and genealogical records revealed intriguing correlations between the migration patterns and settlements of these ancient Frisian families mentioned in the Oera Linda book and the locations where my ancestors resided in Nord-Holland. These connections and overlaps between the historical accounts in the Oera Linda book and the genealogical records of my family name provided compelling evidence suggesting a direct link between my lineage and the ancient Frisian families described in the book. Discovering these connections between my family name and the ancient Frisian families mentioned in the Oera Linda book was a profound and personal revelation. It brought a sense of belonging and identity, uncovering a potential ancestral tie to a rich and ancient heritage. The exploration of these historical links not only shed light on the historical context of my family but also reinforced the significance of the Oera Linda book in preserving and recounting the history of the Frisian people. Through the meticulous examination of historical records and genealogical data, I uncovered compelling evidence linking my family name, Folgers, to the prominent Frisian families mentioned in the Oera Linda book. These connections provided a personal dimension to my exploration of the book, establishing a potential ancestral tie to the ancient Frisian heritage documented within its pages. It all began around the power struggle for the most influential place in the world, the city of Amsterdam. After a major flood around the year 1250 AD and the subsequent plague epidemic, a power vacuum emerged. Aldega, also known as Amsterdam, had been the world's capital for centuries before the flood. It was a symbol and pinnacle of Frisian peaceful hegemony. Now, it became the center of a power struggle ultimately settled by the conspiracy of the Batavians. In the Bible, we read about how Abram, the progenitor of the Jews, left Egypt for the southern land, where he became wealthy in livestock, silver, and gold. He journeyed from resting place to resting place until he reached Bethel, a sacred place where he built an altar for God. However, he had a dispute with his nephew Lot, who also had many animals. They decided to part ways, and Lot chose the Jordan Plain, a fertile area reminiscent of the Garden of the Lord, or the land of Egypt. Lot settled his tents near Sodom, a city known for its sin and depravity. Abram remained in the land of Canaan, which God had promised to him as an inheritance for his descendants. But what if these stories aren't about the Middle East but about Nord-Holland? What if Abram and Lot were not nomads but Frisians? What if the southern land, Bethel, the Jordan Plain, Sodom, and Canaan are all places we can find in our own region? That's what the Oera Linda book reveals to us. The book presents an alternative view of the Bible and the history of the Frisians and the Jews. According to the book, Abram was a Frisian seafarer who served as a slave in Egypt. He was freed by Jessos, the son of a princess and a high priest, who would later become known as Jesus. Jessos taught Abram the Frisian customs and took him to the Twisklanden, an area where the Frisians lived. Near Purmerend, between Purmerland and Ilpendam, there was the village Galilea, as shown in maps from 1556. This is in the heart of Twisk, a natural reserve referred to as Twiskland or Twiska in the Oera Linda book. Abram was very wealthy in livestock, silver, and gold. He journeyed from the Twisk to Bethel, a sacred place where he built an altar for Freya, the mother goddess of the earth. Bethel is the old name for Beverwijk, a city known for its black market. The word Bethel literally means house of God because there was a church dedicated to Saint Agatha. However, Abram had a dispute with his nephew Lot, who also had much livestock. They decided to part ways, and Lot chose the Jordan Plain, a fertile area reminiscent of Freya's garden or the land of Egypt. The Jordan Plain is the old name for the Jordan, a district in Amsterdam known for its Jewish community. Lot settled his tents near Sodom, a city known for its sin and corruption. Sodom is the old name for Zaandam, a city known for its industry and pollution. The word Sodom literally means burning city because there were many fires due to the wooden houses and oil mills. Abram remained in the land of Canaan, which Freya had promised to him as an inheritance for his descendants. Canaan is the old name for Kennemerland, a region in Nord-Holland known for its dunes and beaches. The word Canaan literally means lowland because the area is lower than the Den Marken, an area now known as East Netherlands and West Germany. These are just a few examples of how the Oera Linda book describes the history and culture of the Frisians and the Jews, and how it paints a unique and intricate picture of the Frisian world. To me, the book is not a forgery, hoax, or experiment, but a genuine and reliable source of information about Frisian history and culture. The book tells a hidden and forgotten story that dates back long before Christ and unfolded in Nord-Holland and the rest of the world. The book is the key to unraveling a great mystery that could change our perspective on history and ourselves. The Oera Linda book, despite its contentious nature and debated authenticity, presents a captivating and intricate narrative of Frisian history, culture, and identity. It offers a unique perspective on the origins of the Frisian people, their interactions with other cultures, and their contributions to shaping the world. My journey through the Oera Linda book led me to reconsider established historical narratives, challenge conventional interpretations, and explore the possibility of a deeper connection between my own lineage and the ancient Frisian families described in the book. It unveiled a hidden and forgotten narrative that potentially redefines our understanding of history and personal identity. This exploration has been both enlightening and challenging, prompting me to question assumptions, seek new perspectives, and delve into the mysteries of the past. The Oera Linda book continues to intrigue, inspire, and provoke further inquiry, inviting individuals to unravel its enigmatic pages and discover the untold stories within. I hope this report offers a glimpse into the fascinating journey through the Oera Linda book and encourages further exploration and interpretation of its contents. There's much more to uncover, and each discovery brings us closer to unraveling the mysteries of ancient Frisian history and its relevance to our present understanding of the world.